my nets, traps, cage fronts, and other worthless but necessary items of collecting equipment. So, for the past 3 weeks, Mercedes, Josefina, and I had spent every day in the bowels of the massive customs house, being passed from office to office with a sort of clockwork-like regularity which was so monotonous and so frustrating that you really began to wonder if your brain would last out the course. Mercedes regarded me anxiously as Josefina wove in and out of fleeing pedestrians in a way that made my stomach turn over. "How are you feeling today, Jerry?" she asked. "Wonderful. Simply wonderful," I said bitterly. "There's nothing I like better than to get up on a lovely morning like this and to feel that I have the whole sunlit day lying ahead in which to get on more intimate terms with the customs." "Now, please don't talk like that," she said. "You promised me you wouldn't lose your temper again. It doesn't do any good." "It may not do any good, but it relieves my feelings. I swear to you that if we are kept waiting half an hour outside an office to be told by its inmate at the end of it that it's not his department, and to go along to room 704, I shall not be responsible for my actions." "But today we are going to see Senor Garcia," said Mercedes, with the air of one promising a sweet to a child. I snorted. "Huh! To the best of my knowledge, we have seen at least 14 Senor Garcias in that building in the past 3 weeks. The Garcia tribe treat the customs as though it's an old family firm. I should imagine that all the baby Garcias are born with a tiny rubber stamp in their hands," I said, warming to my work. "As christening presents, they receive faded portraits of San Martin, so that when they grow up they can hang them in their offices." "Oh, dear, I think you'd better sit in the car," said Mercedes. "What, and deprive me of the pleasure of continuing my genealogical investigation of the Garcia family?" "Well, promise that you won't say anything," she said, turning her kingfisher blue eyes on me pleadingly. "Please, Jerry, not a word." "But I never do say anything," I protested. "If I really voiced my thoughts, the whole building would go up in flames." "What about the other day, when you said that under the dictatorship you got your things in and out of the country without trouble, whereas now we were a democracy, you were being treated like a smuggler?" "Well, it's perfectly true. Surely one is allowed to voice one's thoughts, even in a democracy. For the last 3 weeks we have done nothing but struggle with these moronic individuals in the customs, none of whom appears to be able to say anything except advise you to go and see Senor Garcia down the hall. I've wasted 3 weeks of valuable time when I could have been filming and collecting animals." "The hand! The hand!" Josefina said suddenly and loudly. I stuck my arm out of the window, and the speeding line of traffic behind us screeched to a shuddering halt as Josefina swung the Land Rover into the side turning. The shouts of rage, with cries of "Animal!" faded behind us. "Josefina, I do wish you would give us all a little more warning when you're going to turn," I said. Josefina turned her glittering smile on me. "Why?" she inquired simply. "Well, it helps, you know. It gives us a chance to prepare to meet our Maker." "I have never crushed you yet, no?" she asked. "No, but I feel it's only a matter of time." We swept majestically across an intersection at 40 miles an hour, and a taxi coming from the opposite direction had to apply all its brakes to avoid hitting us amidships. "Blurry bastard," said Josefina tranquilly. "Josefina, you must not use phrases like that," I remonstrated. "Why not?" asked Josefina innocently. "You do." "That is not the point," I said severely. "But it is nice to say, no?" she said with satisfaction. "And I have learned more. I know blurry bastard, and—" All right, I said hastily. "I believe you, but for heaven's sake, don't use them in front of your mother, otherwise she'll stop you driving for me." There were, I reflected, certain drawbacks to having beautiful young women to help you in your work. True, they could charm the birds out of the trees, but I found that they also had tenacious memories when it came to the shorter, crisper Anglo-Saxon expletives which I was occasionally driven to using in moments of stress. "The hand!" said Josefina again, and we swept across the road, leaving a tangle of infuriated traffic behind us, and drew up outside the massive and gloomy facade of the Aduana. 3 hours later we emerged.